What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm making this video. Got a couple things I just want to talk to you about and touch on real quick. There's one thing that I want to get into depth into a little bit, so let's go ahead and just jump right in. First and foremost, Devon Godshaw has been nominated as the Dolphins Walter Payton Man of the Year. He's not going to win it. I would love for him to win it, but there's absolutely no way he's going to win it. Not on this Dolphins team. You know, I mean, I wish he stood a chance, but the likelihood of that is slim to none considering everything that's going on with the Dolphins. But awesome for the kid to at least get the nomination. So good for him. Also, just wanted to let you guys know, and we'll talk about this more, of course, but it looks like Devontae Parker and Albert Wilson are still in the concussion protocol, and they're expected to be for the remainder of the week, so we'll see if they are available for this upcoming game. Also, Allen Hurns, we're not sure if he's going to be ready with an ankle-knee injury. It wants to play, but Brian Flores said we'll see how he goes in practice. But obviously, like I said, we'll get more into that once we get, through the rest of the week, and I'll talk about that in my preview video for this upcoming game against the Giants. But let's note, though, this Giants game, I mean, it's a game that's certainly winnable for us, but obviously all of the injuries we've had make that, even more difficult, especially, then potentially losing, several guys on offense. But also because of, all the new guys that keep getting brought in. People keep saying that, oh, it's wonderful that they're poaching all these guys. Why? First of all, they've been terrible at evaluating, and they've only just constantly recycled and gotten rid of guys that they brought in. There's almost nobody that's, stuck or is expected to stick. So there's that. And also, how do you even evaluate these guys? They don't even really get an opportunity or a chance. Some of them won't play, I mean, it's ridiculous. Anyway, another quick note, not apparently, I mean, it's right there. It looks like Ryan Fitzpatrick is poised to lead the Dolphins in rushing this year. He's about 15 yards away from being the leading rusher. That is just a disaster. I mean, that's a disaster. What more can you say about that? If Ryan Fitzpatrick, not only is he a quarterback, but he's not a particularly, notable running quarterback. It's crazy. But of course we know that, we've had one of the worst rushing, performances almost ever. We'll see how it goes. I know we were, going into this last game, I know we were on pace to, have the lowest amount of rushing yardage ever in history. I don't know how close we are to that, or if we're, still on pace for it or not. We still have 3 more games, so we'll see. And then, Kalen Ballage has, ended the season on IR, which should, put him as one of the worst backs in history. I mean, it's just not good stuff. Also, the final thing that I wanted to talk about, there's this article on Dolphins Wire by Kyle Krabs. So, of course, it's most likely horse shit because this dude's full of it the vast majority of the time. But I wanted to read through this, and because it's interesting, right? So the article, like I said, it's on Dolphins Wire. I get it in my Bleacher Report stream. Patriots Insider speculates Dolphins could sign Tom Brady in 2020. Okay. So let me read through this real quick. This couldn't actually happen, right? There's no way the Miami Dolphins would possibly be in play as a short Hall of Famer and greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, right? Well, it depends on who you ask, because the Dolphins do certainly have a need at quarterback. Brady does have an expiring contract at the end of the 2020 season, and those who are on the Patriots beat seem to think there's a reasonable chance that New England and Brady could be approaching a divorce sooner rather than later. This was never more evident than when NBC Sports Boston's Tom Curran went on the Rich Eisen show earlier this week to discuss the situation in New England with Brady and explicitly named the Dolphins as a potential landing spot should the situation lead to a split. Now, to be clear, Curran acknowledges this is speculation on his part at this point in time, but he makes some pretty compelling and convincing points as to why this might be an outcome that isn't totally out of the realm of possibility. Quote, what would be ideal? Honestly, Rich, knowing who he is, since he's been in the public consciousness for 20 years and more, he wants to be able to prove something to somebody who thought that he couldn't do something, that he was unable to continue at a level. And that's why I keep coming back to the Miami Dolphins as a possibility, said Curran. So, in other words, what he's saying is like, he wants to prove that he can do it outside of the Patriots, outside of Bill Belichick, blah, blah, blah. I don't buy that at all. I don't think Tom Brady has anything to prove, and I think he feels like he doesn't have anything to prove. I think that's nonsense. It's got a Michigan man / friend, Stephen Ross, in charge. I actually find that one to be semi-plausible, because we already know that Tom Brady is a Donald Trump supporter. So, you know, Stephen Ross is a Donald Trump supporter. They're both, you know, Stephen Ross is a billionaire. Tom Brady is, between him and his wife, they could be billionaires. I mean, they're for sure millionaires without question. They love the tax cuts that they get from Donald Trump. So that one's not that, you know, unreasonable. It's got Jerry Shaplinski as quarterback's coach and Chad O'Shea as your offensive coordinator. Brian Flores is the head coach. It's got defensive personnel on the other side, and it's certainly got a culture that's being instilled this year. First of all, okay, so he's got some familiar coaches. I don't think that's anywhere near enough, because I don't believe that he thinks that Brian Flores is anywhere near the head coach that Bill Belichick is. Also, defensive personnel on the other side, who? Xavier Howard? We got one dude. McMillan maybe? Jerome Baker, a couple guys. That's like about it. What do you mean we have defensive personnel on the other side? That's ridiculous. We have holes across this entire team. Okay? Plus, I'm pretty sure that would also very much outweigh some of these things. Like, why would Tom Brady want to, at the very tail end of his career, why would he want to end his career on a rebuilding team? Why would he do that? It doesn't make any fucking sense. The dude has 7 Super Bowl rings. The only thing I'm sure he would want to do is end his career on a high note. Not in a fucking shitstorm of a place. Just because what? There's some guys that he's familiar with? That's retarded. Anyway, and it's certainly got a culture that's being instilled. Bruh. Okay, so there is a culture being instilled, but it's a cheap knockoff of the Patriots culture, and it's one that I don't personally like, and I think it's hella toxic. He might be alright with it because he's used to being in the Patriots way, but I don't think that's really got shit to do with it. This would certainly be a landscape-altering decision for the Dolphins should it come to that. Brady has been public enemy number 1 for Miami over the course of the last 2 decades, so playing out the twilight of his career in Miami and serving as a potential mentor to a long-term quarterback in the future would be one hell of a succession plan for Dan Marino. It'd be fitting to require a Hall of Famer to finally successfully lead the Dolphins out of the shadow of yet another Hall of Famer in Marino for good, even if it leaves a potential bitter taste after all those years of despising Brady for his success on the field. This will be a potential outcome to monitor, even if it feels like it is out of left field. It's not going to happen. There is no way, a 0% chance that Brady goes to Miami. 0% chance. He's not going to have an offensive line. He has no running game. Why would he do that? No, Tom Brady would absolutely retire before going to the Dolphins. It's not going to happen. Even if somehow, some way, Tom Brady leaves the New England Patriots after this year, he's not going to Miami. It's absolutely absurd. It's ludicrous. And it's mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling that anybody would even fucking suggest such a thing. It's impossible. It's impossible. This team is hot garbage. Free agents have already declined coming here. The only players that come here are guys that don't have a choice, guys that were, get drafted, guys that are claimed off of waiver wires. And, the only reason why the guys that are here haven't like openly revolted because of the nonsense is because they're playing for their careers, their livelihood, and their, NFL dreams, etc., etc. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And again, there's no way Tom Brady is going to want to play the last year or two of his career in Miami. He's not going to want to take, despite the fact, and let's note that the Patriots are once again being investigated. I think it's time that the Patriots, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, this is going to piss off a lot of the entitled Patriots fans, but I don't really give a shit. They need to start being stripped of some of their titles because they clearly have cheated multiple times, deflating footballs, filming plays. They just got in trouble, or they're getting in trouble. I mean, likely nothing will happen. Fucking Robert Kraft was implicated in like a sex ring and shit like that. I mean, but no consequences, of course, because we don't have an adequate justice system in this country, but, or within the NFL for that matter. But, they need, because they're fucking cheaters. But again, regardless of that though, Tom Brady still has 7 rings, and, they do have a long, sustainable history of winning and so on and so forth, whether they cheated or not. There's no way. It's impossible. Absolutely no way. Again, no running game. Like, it's just not going to fucking happen. It's impossible. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoy my videos and my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Make sure you share my channel and my videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter @Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon.